Nobody wins when the family feels. But my
Parents of the young boy is now facing a new challenge as the mother of that boy, Jalen Griffin, has now passed away.
As humanly possible as I can say, this one really hurt. So we're going to continue to look for Jalen, even though his mother has gone.
Every time I see my baby, this picture right here on this freaking shirt.
As family, siblings, grandparents, and a dad, and they still want answers. So we are going to continue. Yes, strong mother who did any and everything she could to get resolved to these things that tormented her on a daily basis, like who killed her son Jawan and where's her son Jalen. Jalen is still in this area. Whoever is harboring him is disgusting. It's inhumane to make you feel like you're better than anybody else and take someone else's child and keep them to the capacity where he has missed his brother's funeral. His mother has passed away. His nieces and nephews have had birthdays and things without him. How dare you? And whoever was the coward to have done anything to him, may you feel strong conviction in your spirit and get no rest and no peace until we get Joanne's baby home.
Fam, so this video crushed me. Today we're going to Buffalo, New York. We got to talk about a young kid who was found after being missing for 4 years. But where he was found and how he was found is what drew concerns. Not to mention, his mother lost her life months prior to finding her son. On top of that, when the young boy went missing, her other son lost his life on the same street due to gun violence. Today we're going to see who this victim was, pay our respects, go into details after doing some research and trying to find out who allegedly held responsible, who could be at least, and try to provide some facts with some context as we continue to search for information. So before we go over this one, remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. August 4th, 2020, in Buffalo, New York, a young kid that go by the name of Jalen Griffin, just 12 years old at that time, was last seen. Born April 22nd, 2008. Black male, 5'3", and about 145 pounds. Jalen had left his home on Warren Avenue on the east side to go to a corner store and just vanished. Since then, with the help of the FBI, the state police, the case has been handled by the Buffalo Police Special Victim Unit. Just a few months later, after Jalen's disappearance, his 18-year-old brother, Jawan Griffin, was shot and killed near his home. And death of these two kids, the mother was emotionally devastated. Her and her health rapidly declined. This was one of the last interviews she gave in regards to trying to find her son 4 years later before she passed away herself. Check it out.
Knows what happened to him.
For sure.
What do you have to say to that?
For the person that's out there who did it to him or who know what happened to them, think that you have a family, and how would you feel if something like this happened to your family? You know, what happened was wrong. And for the person who did it, all I can do is pray for you.
September 18th, 2023, Joanne Ponzo had lost her life at Sisters Hospital after her health had rapidly deteriorated. She was 48 years old. May she rest in peace and love and condolences to her family. A friend named Kamara Morris had quoted, "She struggled." The founder of Bury the Violence, who had supported her and helped in spreading awareness about her son Jalen's disappearance, she quoted, "She did the best she knew how. She loved her children." Jalen was last seen just 7 months later. Local police would get a call that Jalen's body was discovered about 5 miles away in the attic of a home. Now at this point we got many questions. Who home it was? How long has this body been there? Why was no one notified? A decomposed body for 4 years? What about the aroma, the smell? Now before we even break down anything else more, I want you guys to hear from a neighbor. Check it out.
Neighbors of 107 Sheffield are telling 7 News they've had concerns with the 4-unit house and the people living there for years.
That house is mainly the only issue on our street, I would say.
This neighbor did not want to be named, but tells my colleague Maki Becker and I about a troubling situation.
About a year or two ago, I was walking my son down the street, and one of the ladies living in the residence at the time chased me down with a bat.
Another neighbor says she received cell phone alerts that convicted sex offenders on the sex offender registry had moved in to 107 Sheffield. 7 News found records to confirm one of those individuals was booked in jail just 1 month ago on a new sex charge. And Maki found an ongoing lawsuit that sheds light on past problems there.
This lawsuit has to do with a tenant here who's accused of starting a fire inside the house that then spread to another house, causing $130,000 in damage.
Police say the body of the 12-year-old who had been missing since August of 2020 was found Friday in the attic of 107 Sheffield. If you had the option to move tomorrow, would you?
Oh, I'd move today. I just don't feel safe in my own house.
Now, fam, after doing my research myself, check out who this house owned by. This property was purchased in 2011 for $54,000. The buyer name was Sunrise West LLC, which is an LLC for the funding and purchases of Spectrum Health and Human Services. And if we look at their website, it talks about how they help people with mental illness and people with heavy substance abuse problems. So now we might be finding out some real answers, family, before it even get public. But after reaching out to Spectrum Health, they wouldn't confirm or deny it. But they did indicate that they're working with local authorities. So then you ask, how does this play a part? That this house this young kid was found in, as we mentioned, about 5.5 miles from the location he was last seen at his house. Also, it's a property that has 4 units inside of a home. So we don't know exactly what tenant could possibly be involved. And with the purchase being in 2011, it definitely plays a part with the purchase buyer. And as we heard from the neighbor, they talked about concerns of their own safety. After talking about a neighbor being seen just last year throwing out a burnt mattress that caused about $100,000 in damages. Could they play a role? Not sure. But then we talk about safety protocols, because these people are housing the people in a program in these houses based on a property that they bought by getting local funding from the government and getting funded by local taxpayers. You say 4 years. As we mentioned, the smell, the stability, the environment. If the neighbors feel that way, how come the tenant not aware of this? How long did they go unsupervised as far as the conditions of their house? Do anyone do daily checkups? I mean, we are talking about people with mental issues and substance abuse problems. At the very least, they should inquire checkups. And if that was done, could this child possibly been found while the mother was still living? Well, that's still in the air. Check this news clip out.
Griffin, a young boy from Buffalo, has been found more than 3.5 years since he first went missing in the Queen City.
News 4's Jeff Preval sat down with Jalen's father and has the details on this tragic case.
Yeah, absolutely tragic. No doubt about that. Kelsey and Dave, for nearly 4 years, Jalen Griffin's family, police, and community leaders have questioned where could he be. Well, tonight we spoke to Jalen Griffin's father on the discovery of his son. Jalen Griffin was last seen August 4th, 2020, when he was 12 years old. He left his home on Warren Avenue on the east side to go to a corner store and vanished. With the help of the FBI and state police, the case has been handled by the Buffalo Police Special Victims Unit.
They conducted that investigation that began immediately, which included a significant amount of and exhaustive efforts, searching numerous homes, locations, searching with cadaver dogs, fields. They also conducted coordinated grid searches. Community groups have done their own searches across the city and out of state.
I'm reminded by his mother, Joanne Ponzo, who on her dying bed said, "Don't stop looking for my son."
Tragically, the search for Jalen came to an end Friday in the 100 block of Sheffield Avenue in South Buffalo, where officers responded to a report of a dead body.
It's an occupied structure that somebody was in the house with a valid reason.
The body, which police say had been there for a long time, was positively identified to be Jalen Griffin, a confirmation that was made through dental records. No arrests have been made.
But now we have more questions. Who was so inhumanly disgusting to kill a baby?
Jalen's father wants justice and has questions as well.
They said they found the body Friday, the court Friday or whatever. Why wasn't I notified? We all don't know how long he's been deceased. I'm quite sure it should have been some type of odor. Now that I have confirmation, I do feel a lot better.
Prosecutors say the medical examiner's office will do an autopsy, which could take months. There is still a $7,500 reward for any information leading to an arrest.
As they mentioned, it was noted that an ex-offender had lived in that house, but has been booked in jail since last month. And this is the crazy part to me. How are they on this list but they scared to say their names? I've been trying to look it up myself. Unless I have the zone or the first or last name, it's kind of impossible to see who lost their life in the span of just 4 years. We don't know how long this young kid has been deceased. He was identified by his dental records. As more developed, I keep you guys updated. But this was the story of a 12-year-old teenager who vanished in 2020, managed to lose his brother months later, mom lose her life 3.5 years later, and his body be found in the attic just 7 months after that. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.